Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. It is an honor. I'm Safaradita from Indonesia, from Group 1. Today, I'm going to present about our project called Zero Waste Body, the represent of the SDGs 13 climate action. This presentation will be separated into two main parts, which one information about the issues or data, and then the second one will be Zero Waste Body project itself. Next. To begin with, I would like to inform you about the current condition from our loving Earth. Did you know until 2020 and 21, 381 million tons of waste are in this world, and 50% of this is single use. And how about in Asia? According to the Earth.org, China has the biggest number of plastic waste that contribute to our oceans. And other top vendors include Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and so on. Next. The data also found that Statistica that stating in 2019, China has the biggest number amount of plastic waste and come along with two others Asia's countries. Next. So how about in pandemic? With consumers around the world stuck at home, many people are relying on food delivery services and online shopping platforms to obtain goods and stay connected, with a corresponding increase in disposable packaging. It's slightly no different. We can see 50% of the 8 million tons end up in the world's ocean every year. If we are still not take action, the problem is set to increase tenfold. The impact this has on the ecosystem, marine life, and humans are potentially irreversible. Next. Therefore, we are creating Zero Waste Body as an eco-platform for young generation can gain knowledge, also take action from it. We believe that social media has a major impact to our community. Next, we have two values here. One of it is raising awareness and enhance young generation to take action, and our target audience are millennials and Gen Z because we believe that these two generations have enormous contribution to the society. Next, we also agreed about the platform that we are going to use, which are Instagram and TikTok, because based on our research, the two platforms has the biggest and the most impactful platform throughout the year. Next. These two platforms has their own function. For our project, for Instagram, most of it we will use it for infographic content or sharing session through live IG. And for TikTok, we will use it to create the video content. Next. We are also separating our projects into three main points, which are awareness, action, and impact. Awareness to building comprehension and environmental issue and to lead them by example. Action is to motivate young generation to act and giving real contributions, and impact is to measure our project and their actions. So with these 3 points, we want to make sure that our impact can deliverably well. Next. This is our timeline project that we are going to use Instagram, TikTok, and other meeting virtual application by week 1 until week 4. Next, we have 3 big projects, which are workshop, crowdfunding, and sharing session. In workshop, we will invite the external parties, and crowdfunding is a funding project or venture to help other social project disaster, and sharing session is an internal event. Next, we have our long-term plan that this make us different from other community. We also want to help small community to build economic growth by promoting home industry, which make eco-friendly products. Number 2, we will make our own website. And then number 3, we will cooperate with other NGOs and influencer. Next. As we know that this problem needs an urgent action because we believe that the earth, what we all have in common. So let's spreading awareness through simple act. It's all from today. Thank you from Group 1.
Thank you so much. Wow, that's amazing for this first group. That's amazing for this. She already make the standard of the presentation height. So guys, good luck for everyone. Now let's go to the next presenter, Miss Diva Rifda. Are you ready?
Yes, hello, I'm ready.
Okay, so for Miss Da, once you start speaking, the start part will start. For Miss Mega from Group 3, please be prepared. Good luck.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Diva, and I'm here to represent the second group. Next. For this next 4 minutes, I'd like to deliver a report which we divide into 6 parts. Next. The first one is why we choose to talk about the 4th SDGs. We can all agree that the first step to make the world a better place is by having a valuable generation. Our team believes that quality in education must contain awareness on sustainability, connecting the world, and equity. Next. Here are some reports by the UNESCO and UNDP regarding the lack of literacy skills and violence at schools. Next, please. Next, we believe there are certain problems regarding education, as you can see in this screen. Next. We reached the core of this presentation. Our team like to propose this program called ACT. ACT is an online program that will facilitate students and teachers to boost their knowledge. A stands for a compulsory reading club. C stands for a cultural education program. T stands for teachers training program. And S stands for sustainability learning program. We choose to propose this program because it can be actualized in this pandemic era. Next. A compulsory reading club will increase literacy skills, and cultural education program will discuss a range of issues, including identity, history, religion, and culture. Our goals of this program is to reduce racism. Next. Teachers training program. Teachers training program will train teachers to build their skills and create a secure environment for their students. The last is sustainability learning program. And all about sustainability, how to live a sustainable life to the crisis of climate change. Next. This is what we hope in the future. Expansion of job opportunity, eradicate racism, etc. Next. We'd like to propose this program starts next year and will be updated per 3 years. And our hope by 2030, all countries implement the ACT program. Next. Let me close my speech by our movement. Youth for the world. The most powerful weapon for changing the world is education. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for Ms. Diva. It's also a great presentation. Thank you so much. And it's an in time. So for the next presenter from group 3, Ms. Mega. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so please wait until the screen's coming up.
I can't see my presentation yet.
Yeah, please wait a minute. Once you can see your presentation, you can start. Okay, good luck. And for Larissa, Miss Larissa, for the group 4, please be ready. The time is yours.
Good afternoon, respectable leaders and committees. Before I jump into our group presentation, we would like to use this platform to show our solidarity for Myanmar. We are standing against the military coup. Next, please. Next. Ever since the surge of the newborn virus COVID-19, we put everything into hold: economic activity, social activity, and many more. But there is one thing that is inevitable. It is the surge increase of biomedical waste. This we can't prevent. According to UNDP, each bed per day taking care of COVID patient nowadays produce 3 to 4 kg of waste. Before COVID, it was only 2 kg per bed. Next. WHO states improper handling of waste cost 25% diseases in level 1 and 2 countries. And waste pickers in Pakistan experience 3 to 5 injury because of biomedical waste. Next, please. How are we handling this right now? Other than China, several countries in Europe and the US, most of us heavily relied on incinerators. It's a waste management technology using thermal energy from fire. However, this method is not exactly environmentally friendly because it releases gases that triggers climate change. In Indonesia alone, out of 2,889 hospitals, there are only 112 hospitals with licensed incinerator. We have private-owned incinerator, but then most of the time it is not accessible. The biomedical waste ends up in municipal waste, or is just neglected on the side of the road or burned publicly. In short, we are facing an issue that if it's not handled carefully, it will running the risk of spillover pollution crisis. Next, please. That's why we are, as the group 3, introducing GOMI. In Japanese, it literally means waste. It's an on-demand app offering standardized or proper waste collecting and transporting between the hospitals or households to another hospital and enterprises which provides the waste processing service. Next. We are consolidating the government, non-profit organization, waste management enterprises, and the society for the better handling of biomedical waste. Next. Next. GOMI offers information of waste management, especially non-incinerated facility near the user, safe handling of the biomedical waste, recycle container, which the benefit will be available for purchase and will benefit the campaign or project in the waste management. And lastly, we provide updated information or guidelines regarding COVID-19 and safe disposal of waste. Next. We realized that the problem is pretty similar with the handling of plastic waste. And it is also a prolonged struggle that have been explained by the previous group before. Next. The assessment will be the study of trend and decline. As you can see, we are aiming for a very ambitious aim with the 50% decrease in injuries for the sanitary workers. Next. Our future prospect, we are hoping to finally increase the licensed facility for waste management in level 1 and 2 countries and maintain the well-being of the society as a whole by decreasing disease transmission from improper waste handling. And with that, we are from Group 3, hoping that we can tackle what we are currently facing regarding the biomedical waste management nowadays. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's dryly on time. Thank you so much for Miss Mega from Group 3. And let's go to the next presentations. It's from Group 4. Miss Larissa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, please make sure that you already can see your screen and then you can start your presentations. For Anastasia, for Group 5, please be ready. For Miss Larissa,
Okay.
time is yours.
My name is Larissa. I'm from Brazil and I'm here representing Group 4. Good night to everyone that is in Brazil and good afternoon if you are in Asia. So I'll start. Sustainable Development, Youth Action in Pandemic Challenges, and the Importance of Goal 11. Next. A short description of sustainable cities and communities would be best described by making cities inclusive, safe, and resilient and sustainable. Next. Next. By 2050, more than 2/3 of, back please, it's delayed here. By 2050, more than 2/3 of the world will be urban inhabitants. More than half of the world's inhabitants lives in cities, and this migration trend is expected to continue. The dream of urban communities has never been higher priority than it is today. Therefore, it will be under the support of the cities if we will succeed or fail in achieving the goals of poverty, education quality, climate change reduction, and ensuring healthy lives. The cities will determine if we will achieve economic inclusive growth or get closer to equality. It is in cities where people will seek opportunities for higher education and employment. It is also there where we will determine the usage of the world's resources, or if we can realize a more sustainable path. That's why the SDG 11 is so important. Achieving targets there is giving the basis for achieving targets in many other SDGs. About 2% of the world is homeless, while more than 20% of the world may lack adequate housing. So how is the world doing on this goal? Next. One of the targets of this goal is decreasing urban population living in slums, which means ensure access for all to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and the basic services and the upgrade to slums. Next. As data shows, the world has made progress. Next. Another target of this goal is reducing the environmental impacts of cities, which means reducing the adversity per capita environmental impact of cities, including by paying special attention to air quality and municipal and other waste management. Next.
1 minute left.
How the pandemic affected youth action, you may ask. I highlighted the two main points. Next. The access to communication and the internet. Next. And the economic crisis. Next. It's lagged. Oh, now I see. As it is estimated that only 57% of families in the world have access to internet, a big part of the population automatically met out the access to online classes, work from home policies, and or even family contact. And the economic crisis, with the closure of business and companies suddenly shutting down, the economic instability generated by the pandemic led to loss of supporters and sponsors, which levels down the standard of projects helping. Next.
Okay, time is up. Thank you so much for your nice presentations, Miss Larissa from Group 5. So let's go to the next presentation. I'm sorry, Larissa from Group 4. Thank you so much for the nice presentations. You've done a great job. And let's go to the next presenter, Anastasia from Group 5. Are you ready, Anastasia?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Anastasia, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the time is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia from Group 5, and our youth action during the pandemic will focus on Goal 11 of the SDGs. It is sustainable cities and communities. Goal 11 aims to have safe, resilient, equal, and sustainable communities. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has slowed down our attempts to achieve these aims. Next slide. Right now, our communities are facing a domestic waste problem. Next slide. The pandemic has brought us a multitude of problems. However, the most prominent of them all, aside from health, will be the rise in solid domestic waste, especially in urban communities. Next slide. Statistics show that there has been a large increase in the production of household waste, especially in single-use products, due to quarantine-related activities such as online shopping and ordering in food. Next slide. An example of this is Indonesia, who could produce up to 200,000 tons of waste every day. Next slide. However, there is a major solution to this problem. Group 5 is proposing a project to create a Youth Eco-Brick Foundation. Next slide. Firstly, what are eco-bricks? Eco-bricks are alternative building materials made from reused and recycled waste. Eco-bricks can be used to make garden walls, furniture, and more. Next slide. The aim of our project is to create eco-brick from waste, then donate them. The system is also quite simple. We will first collect waste through collection boxes, then recycle that waste to create bricks, then distribute those bricks to less developed areas. Next slide. A strength in this solution is that not only are eco bricks cheap, they also require less energy to manufacture. Money will only be needed for transportation and essential tools. Therefore, the foundation can functionally operate with a relatively small budget as well as a small group of people. Next slide. Our project will bring many benefits to our communities. It will bring environmental, social, and economic benefits and also improve the quality of life. Next slide. Our project will be determined successful Once we're able to collect 10 kilograms of waste and distribute 100 eco bricks or more per month. Next slide. This is our projected timeline. As you can see, we predict that our foundation can be created and functionally operate on small community level within our first 6 months. After 2 years, we can assume that our foundation will expand to a regional and or national level through social media marketing and collaboration with other organizations and foundations. Then after 5 years, we can predict that this foundation can reach an international level. Next slide.
1 minute left.
Yes. So what can our project do for the future? Well, if our solution is implemented, then we can expect future communities that are safe, equal, and sustainable. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a nice presentation from Ms. Anesia from Group 5. Thank you so much. Yeah, you've done it in time. And let's go to the next presentations from Group 6. Ms. Noor Shaira, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so once your screen is available, your presentation, you can start. For Ms. Shaira, the time is yours. Can you see your screen?
No,
Yeah,
I can't
please
see my
wait a
slide.
minute. Okay, wait a minute, please. For the host, please share Ms. Shaira's screen because she can't wait to start the presentations. Okay, it's available already.
A very good day to the panel, organizer, and fellow leaders. I'm Shaira from Malaysia. We'll be presenting on behalf of Group 6, where we will tackle an important issue to achieve the fourth goal, quality education. We proudly present Lil Coders Camp with our tagline, Ready for Future. Next. Being in the digital era, most industries rely on data and software programs. In fact, studies have shown that there will be an increase in computer science jobs by 2026 due to high demand. As we all know, kids have minimal exposure to computational thinking due to limited resources. We can see that now if kids want to learn to play a piano, they are piano classes. But what about coding? Where should they go to learn? Next. Our goal is to raise awareness that coding is fun and useful for their future, also to enhance their interest at a very young age, thus preparing them way earlier. Not to forget to advance the education system technologically, also to sharpen the kids' abilities in technological fields. Basically, we target kids between 7 to 15 years old as the syllabus would be simple and fun. We are training them from zero to hero. Next. So we thought of a way to tell kids, hey, coding is fun. Introducing Lil Coders Camp, Coding Camp for Kids. The activities will be conducted through live and flexible online classes due to our current situation. There will also be an introductory class to computer science role models and sharing sessions with facilitators and experts. So don't worry. There will be also, to make it more fun, there will be an online games and little code card game that helps kids to understand the basic coding. By the end of the camp, they will be able to develop a simple game. Next. As you can see in this timeline, the first one is planning, then pre-evaluation by conducting a casual interview or survey for those interested just to determine their state of interest before joining the camp. In June, the camp will be conducted for 2 weeks. By the end of June, we need to re-evaluate back to see the kids' improvement. After that, the kids will graduate as the first batch ever to complete Lil Coders. This will build a community where they can still keep in touch and join us for the next event. It's like a loop. Next. We believe this project can help to spark interest, build confidence, provide them exposure, and help to prepare them for the future. Next. We hope our program would be successful, so of course we have measurement to make sure that the project would be running well. The important part is we hope all parties are involved and support the sustainability of this project. Next.
1 more minute left.
We believe we can make this program better through partnership with university students, startup companies, next, schools, humanitarian organizations, and media partners with reasons stated in the table here. Next. Thus, here is the future of Lil Coders. We aspire to build coding clubhouse to help reach those in rural areas. Also make it as an annual event by rotating organizers and establishing a community of young coders to become role models for the future generation. We truly believe in Lil Coders, and we hope you can share the same dream too. Towards a better future in education, let's play our role and code our code. With that, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nur Shaira from Group 6. What a nice presentations. Now let's move to the next presentations. We will have Mr. Aldi from Group 7.
I'm here.
Okay, so please wait until your screen is available for you, then you can start. Yeah. This good. Okay, good luck, Mr. Aldi.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aldi. I'm the representative from Group 7. Group 7 decided to choose climate action, which is the goal 13 of Sustainable Development Goal as our topic, and we separate again into mass problem. So the topic we are about to discuss today is massive threats of mass waste. Next, COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on our daily life, which has impacted our economy, politics, education, environment, and lifestyle. And also, COVID-19 has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide. The increasing use of disposable masks caused a devastating impact for our planet and contributing to the world's plastic problem. The historical data from United Nations tells us that 75% of masks will likely become waste clogging our landfills and floating in oceans. Next. There are some facts about mask problem. First, Jakarta Environment Agency has managed 1,213 kilograms of disposable mask waste from household within 10 months, which is from April to December 2020. Second, Ocean Asia estimates that as much as 1.5 billion face masks may find their way into various marine ecosystems in the year 2021. And last, tradewaste.co.uk estimated that UK throws out 53 million face masks per day. Next. So why are people still not seeing mask waste as a big threat? That's because mask waste is still too normalized, because public doesn't have a more efficient and effective solution than using a single-use surgical mask. Next. And do you know what? A single mask waste in the ocean can kill a whale. Next. So we offered 3 solutions for the problem. First solution, we named it as Mask Hero. So here, we minimize the usage of disposable masks. We can use the disposable mask when you really need it. And you need to keep staying at home because as long as you're home, you don't need to wear any. Second solution is Mask Champion. Here, we need to recycle the used masks. We can change it into something new like a pot. And researcher from Indonesia, LIPI, already found out a way to change the used mask into plastic raw materials in form of pellets. And the third one, if you cannot recycle it by yourself, you can just send it to a recycle company or organization, we can recycle it. And the third solution is use sustainable mask. This is eco-friendly or biodegradable mask. There are several companies which already produce the biodegradable mask, which is Biosanfre from France and FP Innovation from Canada. Okay, next. And this is our strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis for the third solution. Next. For the projection time, we expected our project last in 6 months with 3 phases. Phase 1, we plan to campaign. The campaign purpose is to acknowledge the difference between disposable masks and biodegradable masks, also about the danger of mask waste to the environment. Phase 2, we expect people are aware to minimize the usage of masks, understand the recycle process, and recognize the benefits of biodegradable masks. And the phase 3, we hope people already minimize the usage of masks, start to recycle it, and support the biodegradable mask. There is one quote I remember from Napoleon Hill saying that if you cannot do great things, do small things in a good way. So next. Sorry. Yeah. The wiser we use our math, the brighter our future will be. Hashtag mathwise. That's it from group 7. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you so much for Mr. Aldi from group 7. That's a great presentation. Yeah, perfect timing as well. That's great. And let's go to the next presentations from group 8. Mr. Kausu, where are you? Are you here?
I am, please.
Okay, so once your file is available for you, then you can start your sessions. Good luck. Please wait a moment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kausu Sane. It's my pleasure to present the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is education, which is the foundation of the group. It is the backbone that runs the success of every sector. So in our introductory phase, we have the record of the pandemic and its impact on education. The pandemic of the COVID-19 has tested the education structure. As the pandemic, it has tested the education structure as the pandemic has spread around the world. UNESCO's monitoring has indicated that more than 181 countries have implemented nationwide school closures, affecting over 1.5 billion students. These circumstances have shown the unequal access to the online learning essentials, which raises many issues related to the quality of education among schools, or among school children. Move to the next page, please. These are our key project ideas. First, we want to make sure we collaborate with IT companies to create online learning facilities for the rural community children because they are the most vulnerable ones in this pandemic. Second, we want to also collaborate with IT companies to provide high quality internet connection for both teachers and students in rural communities. We want to hold socialization and socialized dialogues by introducing new gadgets and the applications, especially those related to education, for effective online system. We also want to donate second-hand cell phones to both students and teachers in rural communities to facilitate their access to online learning. We want to also collaborate with local organizations, I mean youth groups, community-based organizations, NGOs, local and international, to facilitate distribution of effective materials within the rural communities to ensure continuous and effective access to education during this pandemic era. Move on to next page, please. The other areas include our digital learning gap. In our digital learning gap, there are three aspects to the problem. First, we do access. We also have participation, and we also have powerful use of the tools and materials that will be available to the target group. Next, we have the technology and teacher comparison. We know that technology is playing the role of the teachers, but not actually directly. As much as technology is important, but it doesn't take the 100% of the role that the teachers would have played. So we try to have that link and have that socialized dialogue with the teachers and students to ensure that even as the teachers are not directly in the classroom, but they guide the students through the right use of the technology to avoid any abuse. So the other points, you can move on. Move to the next slides, please. That's the related problems. Quality primary / secondary education, early childhood and pre-primary education skills for decent youth and adult literacy, safe and inclusive learning environments, amongst other problems. So on our solution validity, you have accessible approach to the focus group, suitable with the current issue and constraints, doable within the short time periods. Then you have our future prospects, and you have our timeline within 2021 to 2022, and then it leads to the conclusion of our entire discussion.
Okay, the time is up. Thank you so much for Ms. Kausu from Group 8. Nice presentation. So Yeah, nice to meet you again, Mr. Kausu.
Thank you very much.
So
Yeah, thank
let's
you,
go
Ms.
to the
Ina.
next presentations, which is from Group A, that will be represented by Mr. Obaidu. Are you here, Mr. Obaidu?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So please wait until the file of your file presentation is available for you, then you can start your presentations. And please make sure that for all of the next presenter, the host of the share screen will only focus on you saying next. So just say next, then the file will click to the next slides. Good luck.
Distinguished guest, honorable host, and all the delegates from around the world, very good afternoon and welcome to the session. I'm representing the group 9, which is the SDG for the quality education. Next. Okay, first of all, we want to make sure that we ensure the globe as a whole. So only education can change our mindset to develop and sustainable equality-based a society or a nation. That's why all these things are we are doing. Next. Well, the SDGs things, the 4 things we mentioned that no doubt these things, the inequalities, tolerance between the people and contributing more the peaceful society, because this is the crying need in terms of our recent times we see around the world how it is going on. So this quality education can ensure all the things and make better for future. Next. Well, in our project, we found that 60% teachers experiencing problems in teaching, including the lack of motivation, no attractive and limited media. And this is very obvious, especially in the pandemic time, of course, that eventually we take this data from the Indonesia, but these things also suitable for my country like Bangladesh or other country like Vietnam or any African countries. So this is the very real life problems we are facing. Next. So we are planning to have a teacher training. Next. Well, this is an online era, so it's very easy to conduct the online meeting in the different platforms operating by the social medias or other educational medias. Next. Like this international sites we can use. Next. So the mindset we want to engage on the learning behavior to the more engagements can make the more sustainability. Next. The post-COVID curriculum. Next. This is our main focus to make a balance with the new curriculum, not only for post-COVID, but also a balanced education, because we found that after finish the education, people cannot find their own job. So these things, the new, we need to make a new curriculum, which is for the suitable for sustainable education and for well-being and the learning pyramids. So next. These 7 things we can ensure on the learning, especially not only for the we don't want to focus on the lecture, but also we want to focus on the more development learning. Next.
30 seconds left.
So these things are the for storytelling and art project we can make for the make their creativity. Next. 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 Yes, we want to make the pre-test, implementation, and post-test. Pre-test by our own regional groups and also international, and implement. And after we are reviewing these things, then we can make our future prospect. Thank you very much.
Okay, time is up. Oh, You already finished. Thank you so much for the nice presentation, Mr. Obaidur from Group 9. Now let's go to the next presentations. Hanif from Group 10, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Hanif? Okay, so please wait until your presentation file is available for your screen, then you can start. The time is only 4 minutes, and I will remind you if the 1 minute left.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hanif. I'm representing for Group 10, and our topic today is that how we could mitigate the what's it called, the decline in education caused by the pandemics. So this project is going to be a very realistic approach, not like any other ideas, because this is a very crucial topic that needs to be addressed, and us as youth activists to know what kind of problems that arises with the pandemic. So next. So before we jump into our project idea, we must know about the existing problems that arises before the pandemics for most of developing countries. So say, for example, lower primary school enrollment rate, no or poor internet access, and also child labor. And however, because of the pandemics, all of these problems that I've just mentioned is going to hit harder, very hard. And according to the UNDP, the expected primary enrollment for countries with no internet access falls by 86%. Now that's very huge, especially countries like Indonesia. And then the expected change in HDI for 2020 falls by -2%. Now this is like this is never done before in history, where the rate of change of the HDI falls by a negative number. Now, the pandemics will cause more problems, arising problems, as mentioned on the right-hand side over here, that literacy rates for future generations are going to be very endangered. Why? Because the role of teacher become ineffective. Because for us, who are fortunate enough to learn literacy rate at a very young age, who attend in school offline, we get literacy, right? But children now, they wouldn't have the same quality as we do. And then another problem that arises is inequality. So children with high income and with internet access will have a huge gap in inequality in terms of educational quality. And then the second and the third and the most critical problem that arises is that parents perhaps change their decisions to enforce child labor instead, because with the pandemics, parents' income are very, very low. Thus, they perhaps incentivize to enforce more child labor. Next. Yeah, so here's the data that I've collected. I think it's time consuming. So next to our project. Yes. Now the project idea is that we want to create some kind of movement like Greta over here to spread awareness and to maintain the literacy rates among primary school age children. By doing so, we could, attract governments, foundations, nations to crowdfund this project. And the points that I want to highlight is that in this project, we want to socialize the parents about their importance role because teachers are ineffective. And then the second is we can teach children to keep education moving. And then we could provide devices and supply offline classes to them and grant free education. And perhaps if it's possible, we could provide universal basic income to parents. So we could eliminate all of this decision-making of creating more child labor. Next.
Time is up. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Yes, thank you.
For Mr. Hanif from Group 10. Now let's go to the next presentations. It will be presented by Al-Hanan from Group 11. Are you ready, Al-Hanan?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Hello, Hanan? Because I couldn't hear your voice clearly.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. That's
Can you
great.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can start it now.
Okay, I'm Alhanan. I'm from group 11, and I'm going to present inclusive education during pandemic in each life. So does our education, and that's why our new government regulation were introduced. Schools and university were forced to close in order to contain the spread of COVID. That's why we have to face new normal education. But in the pandemic COVID, we not everyone can access inclusive education. So we have to propose project ideas so everyone can access education, because education is for all. Okay, the project idea is the first. The COVID pandemic make more challenges in our journey to achieve quality education, especially for inclusive education. According to a survey by the State Disability Information and Resource Center, 43% children with disabilities are planning to drop out of studies due to difficulties faced by them in online education. And according to a survey from the advocacy group Speak Up, there are 75% parents of students with special needs say their kids are showing signs of regression during distance learning, from meltdowns to attempts to hurt themselves. And if we do not address these issues immediately, and even wider learning gap will develop among children with disabilities. And so here's the reality problems. Based on the futures of education after COVID-19, Regional Dialogue Scientists report European Commission expect that students with special needs will suffer more from the lockdown. They have to make up from the learning loss they experienced as early as possible. The pandemic also increasing education inequality. Students from higher socioeconomic are significantly more likely to have a laptop or a computer than those from lower socioeconomic status. And here's the problem, that education is not inclusive. So how we can improve inclusive education during quality during online school? Okay, we have solution validity. The first solution is book club. The activities of this book club are the same as the other book clubs, but there is one additional activity, which is read and donate, where members can collect pre-loved books from resale. And the 100% of the profit will be given to inclusion schools in need. Okay, and the second action or commitment, beside read and donate program, there's also another event which is created study group according to their respective regions. Only teachers and students from that area are allowed to go to school with prioritizing health protocols, and study group can be held as an alternative to online learning. And the future prospects is study group can be the right choice for students with special needs who live in cities that do not have an inclusive school. And special workout and interpretive recorded video lessons or online lessons would be great. So students can learn with parents in in long distance. There's no need to go to across the country to find an inclusive school, even the pandemic. And the read and donate program.
Thank you so much for Ms. Alhanan for your presentations. And I think you're not in a good condition, so please drink more water so you can get better. Thank you so much for Ms. Hanan from group 11. I mean group 11, correct? And let's go to the next presentations. Ms. Nabila from group 12. Nabila, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so please wait until your slide is available on your screen, then you can start.
Okay. Shall we start? My name is Nabila, and I'm a representative from Group 12. I'm going to talk about our project idea to manifest SDGs, especially the goal number 4 about the education. We came up with this idea called the Youth Advocacy Conference. Next, please. Next. So why we came up with this? Because to give you the statistics, there's this increasing number of MUN-like conferences, such as the Asia World MUN. It has over 29,000 applicants from 185 countries. And also the global virtual events market size was fairly, and it keeps growing rapidly. And is expected to grow for another 20% for the next 7 years. And there's also a huge enthusiasm from youth all over the world. And conferences can also close the barriers for the financial and logistical. So it could really reduce costs and travel times. And the outcomes of this project is that it could enhance the public speaking skills, the negotiations, the persuasion.
And I tried.
Sorry?
Yeah,
Okay,
continue.
no.
Hannah, please mute your video. Continue, please.
Okay. Next, please, sir, or whoever is the operator. So here's the data. We have gathered data which shows that the virtual conferences really shows that a lot of people are now using the platform. So what are the obstacles that youth face during the pandemics? As youth, we are inclined to have a more ambitious desire to network, to socialize, to learn new things, to develop our framework. But the pandemic, unfortunately, obstructs us to do so. So there's also the gap between the experienced and the least experienced people, and there's a credibility bias for some virtual events. But our project could overcome this. It connects people both personally and professionally. And advocacy conferences could really develop your critical thinking, your social awareness, and your community service. Next. For the solution validity, well, it is a safe space for youth to enhance their soft and the hard skills. We could measure it with 2 methods. The first is the quantitative. We aim to have the event attended by the minimum 65% of the world's countries, and we want to raise 3 problems to support the SDGs, to have the critical thinking again, and collaborate with 5 youth organizations. For the qualitative, we want to gather feedback by the participants and other stakeholders joining the events. Next. For the future perspective, it is more important about the outcomes and the prospect. How do we know the project is going to be sustainable? Just like us, we gather here in these conferences and we're inspired to learn new things. We're inspired to create our own projects. We want to make people inspired by us. And that is it. This COVID situation has brought a certain global solidarity. We could harness this mentality to keep starving for innovation and ideas. The next.
1 minute left.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the timeline. It could take roughly 2 months for the event preparation and the execution eventually. The longest time would be in the promotion and to notify the attendees. We could collaborate with youth organizations. We could use Instagram, Facebook, and other social medias. We could even collaborate with youth opportunities to promote the event. And that is it. We really believe that the project we came up with could really solve the education problem during this pandemic challenges, especially for youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the nice presentation, Ms. Nabila from Group 12. And let's go to the next presentations. We have Netanya from Group 13. Are you here, Netanya? Am I spelling your name correctly? And Netanya Jason Christopher Iskandar, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you can start your presentations once your slide is available for you.
Okay, greetings everyone. My name is Crystal, and as a representative of Group 13, today I'll be presenting our project, which will be a mental health application. Next, please. So one of the main problems that arose from the COVID-19 pandemic, as we all have heard, is the mental health crisis. Most people are unable to socialize as much as they'd like and are stuck at home, and this causes a mental turmoil and a sense of loneliness, especially for those in education. Next. And as we can see from the abundance of data and studies, how mental health problems, mainly a prevalence of 33% in depression, 31% in anxiety, and 29% in stress, are increasing day by day, with reports saying that they are happening mainly on students. Next. And so we'd like to create a project that could help young students who are suffering the most, but could also reach out to others who are in need of help. Next. And we wish to create a platform which could help people deal with their mental health problems and to show those suffering from depression that they aren't alone and that they have hope. Next. And so our main focus in this project will be the fourth sustainable development goal, which is quality education by educating students and improving their life quality. And so getting on to our project, we want to create a mobile app which we call Second Thoughts. This app will act as a platform for those suffering from mental health problems. And it will include a forum where users can communicate with one another. And what they could do is choose to be either a listener or to other people's problems and give quote unquote second thoughts, or be a speaker as they share their own problems. And then the system could then match those students anonymously and fill each other's needs. But other than that, we will also have a 24/7 hotline for users to seek professional help. And we will also have media such as weekly webinars or articles relating to mental health, which will also be categorized based on age and education. And all of these functions and services will be free for all users. Next, please. And through this app, we'd like to create a goal that is specific in that we'd like to see a 15 to 25% reduction of mental health problem reports. And also, we'd like to measure it based on the number of users as well as feedback for the app. And we believe that this is achievable based on the knowledge we have of the problem, on the software, and also resources needed to run the project. We also believe it is relevant as we are dealing with the ongoing mental health crisis going on around the world. And we'd expect to get this project fully operational in at least 2 years. Next. So our two main risks in this project would be in finding the volunteers and also funding the project. Next. And for that, we'd like to mitigate said risk by making campaigns and advertisements to look for volunteers and create a financial plan for funding the project. Next. And finally, ending with finance, we will be open to voluntary donations as well as advertisements as our main capital sources. All services will still be free, but users could also remove ads by paying a certain amount of money as well. 50% of our revenue will be used for daily operational costs, and 30% will be used to plant trees based on the user's activity, which could also increase the amount of users using the application, as well as also extend our goals to others, such as improving climate by causing climate action. And the last 20% will be saved for either internal or external unexpected events, such as perhaps disaster. So we can change the world with one act of kindness. And we'd like to make a platform to give everyone the power to make that change. That is all from our group. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for Mr. Christopher for the nice presentations. And you've done a great job. Now let's go to the next presenter, which is Nada from group 14. Yeah, Nada from group 14. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, now please wait until your slide is available on your screen, then you can start.
Okay. Can we? The first slide, please. Okay. Good day, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Nada Ashahra. As a representative of Group 14, I hope all of us here are doing well and always in a good health wherever we are. So based on our discussion about SDGs point 13, climate action, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. Next. World total electricity final consumption continue to increase every single year. Electric energy consumption is the actual energy demand made on existing electricity supply. Here you can see the top 5 countries with the most electrical consumption in 2020. China has consumed the most electricity of any other country in the world with total 6.5 terawatt per hour. Using ozone monitoring instrument, NASA and ESA have monitored and the abrupt decrease in nitrogen dioxide concentration during the initial quarantine phase of COVID-19 in China. Next. Therefore, electricity generation on climate change, 97% world scientists agree that human-created climate change due to carbon emissions. Electricity usage is one of the biggest sources of carbon emissions. Energy conservation initiative in encouraging climate action to plan among students reduce their light consumption after it calculated in 2010 that could save up until $60,000 per year by simply turning off lights that are not in use. With that being said, we, Group 14, ready to make a change through our project, Electricity Save It. Next. Measured by pre and post evaluation form in order to assess prior knowledge and improve youth confidence in promoting SDGs. Also, there will be an online platform which is virtual post-it so that everyone can write their hope for the future. Next. So how's the prospect for our project? Further expand youth awareness and knowledge regarding climate change issues, empower youth worldwide to create impactful movement like young generation take a big part to make a movement, right? Decrease statistical data related to electricity usage in the future, advocate to particular stakeholders, like probably there will be a chance about a new statement, like for the example, turn off the lamp once a week to reduce electrical usage. Promote and support the sustainability of the existing community that endorsing SDGs. There are so many impactful projects which already has been done, so we need to support, promote, or maybe involved in the project. Next. Here's our timeline of our project. Late March, we are open call for volunteers. Early April, we are construct the campaign toolkit. In the April, we are promoting our Electricity Save It project by actively do posting on our platform, releasing educational video related to the topic by volunteer or youth representative. Like in early May, we are open submission for our project is exhibition fair. In May, we will hold an Instagram live series road to the international conference. In May 29 until June 4th, we are conduct 7 days challenge virtual campaign to show our movement in order to support point 13 SDGs. In June 5th, we are doing our international conference and project exhibition fair for youth all across the globe as we also commemorate the World Environmental Day. Next.
1 minute left.
25 years ago, people could be excused for not knowing much or doing much about climate change. Today, we have no excuse. To end this presentation, let me give you the key points that you can have and do as a youth to support these goals. Passion, willingness to learn, turn your ideas into action. Thank you for the attention.
Oh, thank you so much for the nice presentation, Miss Nada from Group 14. You've done a great job. Now we have one last presenter from Group 15. Noor Anisait, are you here? Noor Anisait?
Yes, here.
Yeah, okay. So you can start now. Time is yours.
Next. Next. Everyone, good afternoon. My name is Nora. It's my honor to speak and take the opportunity to present our project. So our project is focused on sustainable education in this pandemic, but we focus on skilled development. So our project between business and employment was pandemic. So we really concerned about our ardent pandemic COVID-19. Now we had the pandemic COVID-19 has affected to less physical economy. That is why we want to offer and summarize what is a program. The first is business management, technology integration, data and financial literacy, and digital creative industry. Please next. Yeah, this is our program in basically. So our master class or e-learning, which we have proposed recycling and sustainable economy and new adaptation in labor. Next. Yeah, so our program has two outputs which are indicate first. Sorry, it's a typo. First is sustainable entrepreneurship, which means that we want to provide self-informal sector and also the creative industry. And secondly, we want to provide the future labor or our for employment, like upskilling, less physical lack of economy. Sorry, typo on our presentation. Next, please. So this is our main stakeholder. We stakeholder, the first private sector. We prioritize private sector because we want to utilize corporate social responsibility to provide more infrastructure and instrument. And secondly, the government, which means that government can be used as the legal identity and public monitoring. And lastly, we want to utilize NGO to local community because we believe that NGO has close to local society. Next, please. Yeah. This is our database system, which we have created. The candidate should log in and register. After they register or login, they will choose between our program, digital entrepreneurship or new adaptive labor. So first, digital entrepreneurship is a purpose for people who still have minimal experience. So our program will offer digital work in service sector, creative industry, fintech, and digital transportation. And secondly, adaptation labor, which means we want to offer digital manufacturing, e-commerce, and negotiation. So this is why our program for new adaptation labor, we have maximized what is potential industry post-pandemic COVID-19. Therefore, after they complete their exam and courses, they will directly into private sector and the government database. They can what are the that will be offered directly in their database. Next, please. So this is our structure. As we mentioned before, we are form learning models virtual. So we provide office certificate. Why we want to provide e-learning? Because we want the ability to reach out of people in rural isolate area, and it will be more integrated other because one of most of team from developing country. Also, we want to involve the private sector. It will be can be used by the private sector to predicting labor in post-pandemic COVID-19 for their adaptation. What kind of labor in the future?
Okay, time is up. Thank you so much for the presentation from group 15 that are represented by Noor Anisaid. And for your information,